Hi everybody, welcome to our Atkins video. So my name's Keith and I'm a signalling engineer and I work for a company called Atkins. So in the next 20 minutes, don't worry, it's only about 20 minutes, we'd like to show you the variety of exciting opportunities that's available in the world of science, technology, engineering and maths. I mean, that's what we're here for. So we'll be showing you a variety of colleagues, all working in different areas of Atkins, all with different experiences, and also a range of academic experiences as well. We'd like to show you that STEM isn't limited. Anyone can make a difference. Yep, you can too. We'd also like to show you how sustainability can be embedded in everything that we do, and how engineering is key to a sustainable future, and all about engineering net zero. So what is engineering net zero? It isn't just about working to minimise our impact on the planet and the climate. I mean, it is, but it's about so much more than that. It's about leaving our world in a better state than when we found it. It's up to all of us to push the boundaries of innovation today, to build for tomorrow, and it's our blueprint for the future. But you also might be asking, well, what can I do? Well, after the video, you'll be invited to join our talent pool, as well as links to more resources and activities. But enough about that, what about me? So what do I do? So as I mentioned, I'm a signalling engineer. I work on the railway. So signalling, you can think of signalling as traffic lights for trains. It's essentially the safety system for the rail network. It makes sure that the trains don't crash into each other. But it also makes sure that we can get from where we started to where we want to get to. So I work in the really early design development stages, so this is where we're really looking at the principles of how do we get from A to B. I find it really interesting, and what's even better is that I feel like we're going to be making a difference to anyone that's travelling by train. But what about Atkins as a company? Well, now let's watch some short videos to find out more about Atkins.
An old saying goes, you can't predict the future, but we can design, plan and engineer a better one. Now, more than ever, we're looking ahead and wondering, how can we live sustainably? How should we live together? And how can we live well? At Atkins, we're solving the problems of tomorrow. The largest, most complex problems. Problems that can only be seen with a microscope. Problems that can only be solved with ones and zeros. We get to work on the world's most challenging issues. So we need the world's best and brightest minds. The most creative, critical, and passionate thinkers and doers. People who will change the world and deliver a cleaner, greener tomorrow. If you can imagine better ways to live, if you can design better ways to move, if you can code the digital heart that brings life to a city, then we want you, the future engineers. We're thinking of the future. Are you?
I mean, it's so exciting to be thinking about the future, and I hope you agree. Well, now let's hear from a range of Atkins colleagues as they talk about their roles within Atkins.
I work in transport planning, which is a subsection of the transportation business. We work with economists, environmental scientists, engineers, just to name a few, to help define future policies, investments and schemes which shape the transport system. Transport planning brings together people from so many different backgrounds and with all sorts of skill sets because the work we support is so varied. Transport planning has been the perfect match for me as someone who loves to use the quantitative and analytical skills, but also loves researching and writing more theoretical pieces of work. I really love transport policy and strategy work, transport modelling too, but I'm constantly finding other areas which are really interesting and which I want to learn more about. Atkins encourages us to think about our future and gives us the opportunity to discuss this formally twice a year. But you can always ask questions and look to discuss it further at any time. No matter what I end up doing or what I end up focusing on, I know that my local team, as well as the broader community across Atkins, will support me along the way, and that's why I'm really excited about my future with Atkins.
Hello, my name is Kunle Sumu, and I'm a graduate process engineer at Atkins, working within the infrastructure division at Epsom. I actually joined the company back in 2018, the summer of 2018, as a summer intern. So I joined the MEP team, which stands for Mechanical, Electrical and Process Engineer. So that was after my third year of university, and just wanted to gain experience to facilitate my career choice. And Atkins seemed like a great company to work for at the time. On the graduate scheme, I was nominated and came back after graduating with a master's degree in chemical engineering. And I've been working for the company ever since, on a permanent basis.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and I joined Faithful & Gould, a sister company to Atkins, in September 2018, having just completed my undergraduate degree in French and Italian. Absolutely. My role is largely client-facing, meaning we work to the client's requirements and to their quality standards. Additionally, most of the projects we deliver have a direct impact on the community. Recently, we completed a hospice in Southend-on-Sea, and this made a world of difference to the local community. I'll never forget the moment of handing over that building and seeing the faces of the key stakeholders, the staff, and the wider community.
Primarily, I love that I'm surrounded by people who are just as passionate and focused on their job as I think that I am. I really enjoy discovering new technical things, having new challenges, and Atkins offers that. I think I like the fast-paced nature of consultancy. I like the fact that you can be on several projects at a time, or you can be on one project really intensely for 2 months and then you switch it up and you're doing semiconductor plant manufacturing one day, and then the next week you start working on, I don't know, hazard analysis for a chemical store. Like, that's how fast the turnaround was for me, and I really like that. So I feel challenged all the time, and as soon as you feel like maybe you're stagnating and you've learned what you can from a role, Atkins have been really good about allowing you to move on. So I love that. And equally, I love the inclusivity that Atkins really promote. I've loved getting involved in STEM activities and women in engineering panels and things like that. Like, that's really great, and I think a sign that Atkins wants to support the people who work for them.
Hi, my name is Alice Graham, and I work as a graduate quantity surveyor at Faithful & Gould.
So I'm just heading back to the office from site. So this is for one of my favourite projects, which is a little primary school that's getting extended. I love it because it's such a small project, which means that I get to take ownership for it, and it's just so different to working on some of the larger projects. So it's really amazing, and I love also that I'm able to be part of creating new learning spaces for people in the future.
To go back to the very beginning, when I was at school, I wanted to be either a doctor or a very rich businesswoman. So I did maths, I did English, and then I did chemistry, physics, and biology. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go down the medicine route, so I had to go back to square one and figure out what it was I was going to do. I spoke to my mum, and she recommended quantity surveying. After all those conversations, I thought this could be it for me.
This is one of the really cool projects that I've been able to work on. This project is the A14 Huntingdon Improvement Scheme, and the project itself involves building some new structures and extending some of the road and diverting the existing route of the A14 in other parts. So it's been good because I've been able to work with people from different parts of the country. There's people from the contractor organisations, from Highway England, so yeah, just getting this as one of my first projects is really cool.
Hi, my name is Susanna. I'm a transport planner with Atkins. So at school, I've always been interested in science and geography, so I took chemistry, physics and geography at A-level, and this led me to study physical geography at university, where I really got to explore how the science side and the natural world connect. So I studied things like climate change, energy, climatology, and I had a real interest in sustainability and how humans have an impact on the world and how potentially that's changing our world. And that really ties into my role as a transport planner, because transport planning is of course a huge aspect of climate change and emissions, so it's really important as a planner to think about sustainability. What is transport planning? We essentially try and predict what people might be doing in the future. We are trying to make the world a slightly safer place, a healthier place, through transforming transport. So what am I working on at the minute? At the minute I'm working on two major projects. One of them is a motorway project based around the M25, really trying to reduce congestion in the area and make the whole thing a bit more free-flowing. And the other major project I'm working on is a railway station up in London, and that's really interesting because it's not the actual railway line itself, it's all the enabling services that you need in order for a station to run. They are pretty interesting, they're both very, very different. So the motorway project is all about public engagement, and the railway project is more about data analysis.
Hi, my name's Katrina and I'm a degree apprentice here at Atkins. I'm currently studying a part-time civil engineering degree at Coventry University. I go into work 4 days a week and I attend university once a week. When deciding what to do after school, I considered both university and an apprenticeship. I decided to go for an apprenticeship as I love the idea of being able to learn and earn at the same time. In engineering, it's key to have experience in the industry, and I thought this would be a great way to start. I decided to do a degree apprenticeship with Atkins as they have over 80 years of design and engineering expertise at their fingertips. They are a world-leading consultancy offering great exposure and experience.
My name's Cahir Dixon. I'm a geotechnical engineer with Atkins. I'm based here in Birmingham and I've been with the company for 3 years. Growing up, I'd always wanted to be a police officer.
Hello, hello.
However, in Northern Ireland, by the time I come to apply, they'd frozen recruitment. So I decided to go to university and try civil engineering. While studying my undergraduate civil engineering degree at Ulster University, we undertook a site visit to Belfast City Sewer project. This was a project Atkins had some heavy involvement with and was my first introduction to the company. Some years later, I decided I wanted to go into geotechnical engineering and started looking for summer work. This is when Atkins came into my attention again, as I noticed they were one of the few companies that actually offered specific geotechnical or ground engineering experience for someone over summer holidays.
Whilst working in this role, it was made sure that I was working on real projects within an actual team. This team made sure I was supported throughout my work with the company and ensured I was continuing developing and learning new skills which helped me throughout my Masters.
Personally, I've been fortunate enough to go on 2 secondments in my time. The first was to HS2 for a year and the second was to our India offices in Bangalore. Secondments are a great opportunity for you to gain new experiences and meet new people outside your organisation.
Wow. I mean, that all sounds really interesting and exciting. And those videos just scratch the surface of the variety of opportunities that are available in STEM and within Atkins. I mean, anyone can make a difference. You can too, like we mentioned before. Well, now let's see 3 of our colleagues discuss what inspired them into their roles.
At university, I studied chemistry. I wanted the lab element of it, but also the theoretical science. So after my degree, I went to Nepal and saw the effects of people not being able to have water. So that's when I decided I was going to go into hydrogeology, because I realised it was somewhere where my science and engineering skills could make a big difference. Atkins give you responsibility essentially from day one. At the beginning, you're kind of involved in other people's projects, but it was really quickly I was given responsibilities of small bits of fieldwork, which was really important to me. Hydrogeology is groundwater science. So you have water in underground aquifers, which is essentially water stored in rocks underground. So a lot of what we'll do is water quality testing. We're drilling boreholes and bringing up water to the surface for monitoring for environmental reasons or checking for contamination. I think there's really good opportunities for my career here. There's a lot of places I could see myself developing, and as Atkins is an international company as well, there's opportunities to work abroad and in different sectors as well, which I think is really good. I definitely recommend the grad scheme to people. I think it gives you a lot of opportunities and it's just a really good community to work in. The thing I love about my job is doing the field work, kind of getting my hands dirty, getting involved. Being a hydrogeologist is about delivering clean water to people, and for me, there's nothing more important than that. My name is Mariam Alaiwala and I'm a hydrogeologist for Atkins.
From a young age, my brother and we always wanted to know how things worked. Taking them apart, putting them back together, well, most of the time.
It was in sixth form, a visiting lecturer. She was speaking about transportation and she was really passionate about it. And I thought, I want that spark. From that spark, I started thinking and I decided to follow my passion. And now I work at the cutting edge of transportation, helping to make driverless cars a reality.
At school, that idea of putting things back together made me think about energy. Could I make a difference? Green energy, innovative solutions, engineering for future generations.
Someone who really inspired me is a Chinese female writer called San Mao, born in 1930s. She moved to Africa, married a Spanish guy, lived a totally different life. By that time, it was a very brave thing to do. She wrote a book about her life in Africa, about what freedom is and not to care about what other people think. And many girls in China were inspired by her, including me. By that time, I was still in uni in Beijing, and I decided that I want to travel and see the world. If a girl can go to Africa in 1940s, I can go to UK in 1990s.
Someone that inspires me in my career was Tracy Edwards. She's a female yachtswoman and she managed to skipper the first all-female crew in the round the world Whitbread race. The thing that inspires me about her was that she just didn't give up. When she wanted to do this event, a number of hurdles were put in her way. Women aren't strong enough, women aren't smart enough, and women don't get on. I'd say, you know, she did prove them all wrong because they were very successful, and that's a real inspiration to anybody.
One of the people that inspired me in my career is definitely Marie Curie. She was brave enough to question the previous research and prove that it was incorrect. Being published myself, I remember from school we used to mention her a lot and we were so proud of her and what she achieved. Everyone has difficult days at work, especially I think as a graduate when we learn so many new things every day. You can feel overwhelmed and then you can think about people like Marie Curie who risked everything and achieved so much. That inspired me into taking risks in my life and achieving what I want to achieve. I think as women we can get equally qualified as men, and just the thought of gender being disadvantaged for a job should never be a case.
I always tell girls in uni or girls in high school that it's not the prettiest pair of shoes that take you to places, it's your knowledge and skill to take you to places. And being an engineer will take you to anywhere you want.
Speak to some engineers, find out what engineering is actually about. There are many exciting projects out there waiting for you to get involved in, and hopefully to be an inspiration to future women to follow in your footsteps.
I mean, what an inspiration. That was so great. Well, remember when I mentioned at the beginning about engineering net zero? Well, now we're going to show you another video to find out more about what exactly it is.
At Atkins, we're committed to transforming the way we create cities, transportation, and energy solutions across our planet. Partnering with clients to effect genuine change across every aspect of our projects to help create a world of net zero emissions. We believe that we must all take responsibility for the state of the world, which is why it's our duty to change it for the better. And we want you to join us on this journey. If you truly care, if you want to have a measurable, transformational impact on every project you work on, and if you genuinely want to change the planet for the better, there is no better time than now to join us and ensure that your work today helps to bring a brighter tomorrow.
Well, I hope you've now learnt a little bit about what engineering net zero is all about and how STEM is key to ensuring a sustainable future. But now's the chance to get you thinking. So we've got 3 questions that are all going to come up on the screen. And it'd be great if you can just have a think about them, even let us know what your thoughts are. So, how can you yourself contribute to building a sustainable future? What ideas do you have that could contribute to achieving net zero? How can our energy, transportation and infrastructure be improved today and into the future? So take some time now to have a think about those questions, and then we'll start to wrap up.
When you flush the toilet, your wee goes down the drain. It spins and whirls, goes round and round, and pipes take it away. But don't forget to clean it before sending it out to sea. If it wasn't for the sewage works, we'd be brushing our teeth with we.
I tried it once, made my teeth yellow.
Without the power plant, there'd be no electricity. That would mean no more lights in the night we wouldn't see. No Xbox or Nintendos, no YouTube videos. No trucks, no trains, no trampolines, no factories to make our clothes. If we didn't have them, our lives would be weird. Bridges, boats, buildings and roads would all just disappear. To stop flooding, drought and poison trout, one thing's very clear: we don't need more engine eyes.
We need more engineers. Get it? Engine ears.
We must reduce, reuse, recycle, stop burning oil and coal. It pollutes the air and melts the ice and animals lose their homes. Engineers bring us energy from wind farms and the sun. They can even help us use the gas that comes from a cow's bum.
Comes from a cow's bum?
If we didn't have them, our lives would be weird. Bridges, boats, buildings and roads would all just disappear. To stop flooding, drought and poison trout, one thing's very clear: we don't need more engine eyes, we need more. If you've ever played with Lego, then you're an engineer. You could build a spaceship and leave the atmosphere. You could fly around the moon or 30 million miles to Mars. But we need those engineers to make those flying cars. If we didn't have them, our lives would be weird. Bridges, boats, buildings and roads would all just disappear. To stop flooding, drought and poison trout, one thing's very clear: we don't need more engine eyes, we need more engineers. Engineers make a huge difference to all of our lives, and we need more of them. So why don't you speak with a teacher, your parents, or even an engineer to find out more?
So we've now come to the end of our video, and I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that we've shown you the variety of opportunities in STEM, how sustainability can be embedded in everything that we do, and how STEM is the key to a sustainable future. But there's so much more we could have talked to you about. So how can you actually find out more? Well, a great way is to join our talent pool. This is a perfect way to stay in touch, to learn more about our culture, projects and areas that might be of interest to you further down the line. We also have a few activities that you or a teacher can download and explore. We'd really hope that you find them of interest. And finally, check out our websites to find out loads more information, including our Net Zero website. So to end, I just want to again say thanks so much for watching and goodbye.